What's up, everyone? Welcome to the podcast. So dedicated to talk about all the poggers things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I am one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I am Little Bo Peep.
Little Bo Peep.
Something about sheep.
Hanging with his sheep.
Never learned the rest of that. Now that I think of it.
Now making a peep. Is that a real song? I thought they invented Little Bo Peep for Toy Story.
What? No, Little Bo Peep. What the fuck? Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home bringing their tails behind them. It's a fucking, like a little...
It's a metaphor for just letting your problems solve themselves. They'll come home eventually, right? Like, don't worry about it.
You know, I never thought about it that way. Oh, wait, there's more to it. Little Bo Peep fell fast asleep and dreamt she heard them bleating. Bleating, not bleeding.
Okay. Thank you. Thank God.
But when she awoke, she found it a joke, for they were still all fleeting. Then up she took her little crook, determined to find them. She found them indeed, but it made her heart bleed. Okay, that was bleed.
Okay.
For they had left their tails behind them. It happened one day as Bo Peep did stray into a meadow hard by. There she espied their tails side by side, all hung on a tree to dry. Yo, that's some like fucking say that to like a
yeah. Freaking bars, dude.
There she espied the tails side to side. She heaved a sigh and went to dry all over the hillocks. What the fuck is a hillock? Hillock?
I don't know.
Bro, this is opening up my vocabulary. A hillock is a small hill or mound separated from a larger group of hills. I'm sorry?
Separated from or separated by?
Separated from.
It's just like a small hill over there away from the other hills. That's the hillock?
There's a word for that, I guess. Sometimes called a knoll.
Grassy knolls?
The grassy knoll.
The grassy hillocks? Well, look at that. If you didn't know, Little Bo Peep had freaking 8 more verses to the song, now you know.
Or if you're like Jesse, who didn't know that there was a song
at all.
You just thought that was from Toy Story, huh?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me because a lot of the toys in Toy Story were real toys. Like, well, hold on. Did Mr. Potato Head come before or after? Now I don't know. Was the toys...
Mr. Potato Head goes way back.
It goes way back? Okay.
Mr. Potato Head.
Listen, Toy Story came out in like 92 when I was 1 year old. So to me, that's where it all came from.
Yeah, it's been a toy produced by Hasbro since 1952.
Sheesh.
Yeah, there had to be some like potato famine lore around
I was about to say that feels like the most 1952 toy ever. They were like, what if we just made a potato and you stuck arms and legs into it?
Yeah, how what's the word I'm looking for? Relatable, unrelatable. You know, like how many Gen Alpha kids even know what a potato is?
Yeah, the kids these days don't even know what potatoes are.
It's a raw French fry.
Yeah, yeah, uncooked French fries. Yeesh, yeesh.
This is the energy we're working with today. Both me and Jesse are sleepy.
We're trying, bro. I'm trying. I've been like, Arc Raiders launched at 4:30 in the morning or 5:30 in the morning, so I was live at 3:30 that day, and then I've been like getting up early every day to play. I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, everybody was talking about I was coming out, and I forget what I was playing. Might have been PowerWash Sim too, but and then they were like, "Oh yeah, Arc Raiders comes out in like T-minus 5 hours," and I'm like,
"Oh, you were up late? Gotcha."
Yeah, and I'm like, "Okay, well, the only way I'm gonna play is if I'll play with Jesse, basically."
Yeah.
And then I was like, "So you got anyone to play with?" I'm like, "Of course, you obviously already have like so." I haven't played it.
We had that shit locked. Oh, I wondered if you had. Okay.
Nah, I just not playing it solo.
I mean, totally. Like, we can totally find some time to play. 100%. I had launch day squad locked in for a while, but yeah, like maybe we can do that for the PP or just even on stream sometime because I'm super Super locked in. But yeah, man, dude, it came out. It's finally here.
Tell me all about
and
it.
it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. I'm having so much fun. It's just, I mean, I don't know. It's just great. I'm loving it. It's great getting 1.0. It's great having progression. This we talked about last week. The server slam was just like there just wasn't a lot to it. 10 quests in one map, and so I had a blast playing the server slam, but there just wasn't a lot. So this is like the extraction shooter itch. Dying with that thing I've been looking for, you know what I mean? I was almost done with that quest and then we died, and so it feels so good to like be excited about progressing and learning the quest and what does that mean, and like, oh, have you done that? Oh, where is that thing? It just feels good being in the newness of it all and the 1.0. And
How so? I get the impression that there was like a distinct feel between like the first time you played and like the server slam. Like those felt differently. Like how would you say it felt more like the first time around, the server slam, something in between?
Yeah, I mean, it feels more like the tech test in the spring because that had a lot more progression. The core gameplay loop has felt relatively the same all the way through. You can tell they've expanded a lot more since the tech test in the spring. There's a lot more like variety in items and variety in gear, and which is cool to like uncover and discover all that. And so it has been super fun and super clean. Like when the game went up at 5:30 a.m., there was like 10 minutes where like I was launching the game and it said like network error. And then after that 10 minutes, it was perfect all weekend until today. Not a single crash, not a single like game breaking bug, not a single server error or anything until around 3 p.m. today. There were some server issues and we got booted out. We were waiting in a queue. I ended up bailing on the stream to go have dinner with my family, but it came back. Like it's been back for like an hour or two. Like in about 2 hours, they figured out the issue. But launch of the game went insanely smooth. I don't know how many people like have played. Today they hit their they topped their concurrent player peak. There's over 350,000 people playing concurrently on Steam. It's also on Epic Games Store. It's also on Xbox, and it's also on PlayStation. So yeah, they just been cruising. They've been crushing it. I love this game so much. And it's been so vindicating that I've had so many people that were like, I didn't believe you. And now I'm addicted. And I'm like, thank you. Because it's so hard, like, especially on the podcast, it's so much easier in chat for me to like super easily just be like, if somebody comes in and they're like, I don't know, man, it just doesn't look whatever. I'm like, oh, that's totally fine. Like, I mean, you got Tarkov, you got ABI. Like, it's no game is going to be for everybody. But the podcast is just a conversation between you and me. So I'm excited about it. All I'm going to do is like endlessly glaze it. So it's like the stream watchers are like, whatever. But the podcast listeners are like, you have been hyping this game up. And it's like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to like hype it up. I don't mean to say you should be excited. This is a conversation between me and Veritas. Like, I'm going to talk about how excited I am. So it was so vindicating to hear so many people come in and be like, dude, I thought you were like way, way overhyping this up. And now I'm addicted. There's just been the energy of like people being like, I haven't had this much fun gaming in so long. It's one of those games, we've talked about it every week. We've talked about Arc Raiders. It's very clear, like when you play it, if you're going to enjoy it or if you aren't, and that's totally fine. But the people that are enjoying it are just like, really enjoying it, having so much fun. It's so good. It's so good, man.
I'm just excited. Do you have any idea, like ideas or plans for like video content around it?
So much.
Like, yeah. So are you thinking highlight stuff? Are you thinking tutorial stuff? Are you thinking storytelling stuff?
All the above. We have I started a second channel a month or two ago for the highlights because I've been really enjoying. We talked about that. I've been really enjoying like the main channel.
Yeah, put a link when you upload this. Put a link in the description.
Oh yeah. I've been really enjoying the very structured, kind of bespoke content made for YouTube. It's not recycled content. It's made for YouTube. But I know people like the highlights, so I'm going to start posting more of the highlights on the second channel. But so much stuff. Beginner guides. I'm going to start with a ton of beginner guides because it's a much simpler game than Tarkov in terms of like, the health system doesn't have like 47 items, the ammos, there's not whatever, but it is still very much so like an extraction shooter. It really depends on where you come from. If you come from Tarkov, you're like, wow, this is a very simple, streamlined experience. If you come from Warzone, you're like, what is all this? You know what I mean? So it really depends. And because the console, like this is really outside of Hunt Showdown, which is an awesome game, but Hunt Showdown is even different because Hunt is kind of like that objective-based extraction shooter where this is much more inventory management. Like I'm already getting, we used to get this question all the time in Tarkov. What do I keep? What do I sell? Like there's just so many, you know what I mean? And in Hunt, there isn't that. There isn't like that out of rate economy. So for console players, this is like the first loot-based extraction shooter they've really had. So I want to do a lot of the beginner guides. I want to do a lot of I already have so many ideas for like narrative, like storytelling stuff. I want to do highlight videos. I want to do shorts. I want to do it all. I've been like just grinning ear to ear all the time. So excited about that Arc Raiders video that I did. Is up to 855,000 views in the first 14 days, which is insane.
That's sick,
insane.
Dude.
So tons of content coming. It just like I am so like full and happy. And part of that is coming from like, if you're listening to the podcast, 50% of that is coming from how good this game is. The other 50% is coming from how empty I let myself become because of Tarkov. So this isn't even all like on Tarkov because Tarkov's a bad game, quote unquote. I stayed with Tarkov really long. I stopped enjoying it, but I kept playing it. I kept making content for it. This whole past 18 months, I've been like in this weird place where it's like, I want to keep making content because I love making content, but I really am just like, I'm out of ideas for Tarkov. I don't know what to do. So it's my fault, but I let myself get really empty and uninspired in Tarkov. And so the contrast, I'm just like so like full. I'm full of ideas, full of energy, full of excitement. And this game is like so good. So good.
Dude, you stayed way too long in a toxic relationship for the sake of the kids. Okay? And
literally for the sake of my kids.
Point, and then metaphorically and literally. And now you've gone on 2 dates with someone who is like not crazy, and you're like excited
100%.
about, I know the feeling.
We're getting so the big question, which I think we've talked a little bit about, like part of the question I just like reject because whatever, but part of it I very much so understand. The big question we had about Arc Raiders coming out of the tech test, coming out of the service line was like, what's the longevity going to look like? Like what, you know what I mean? And that I get that question a lot, and I'll admit that some of the ways that question is framed irks me, because it's a very understandable question. At the core of it is just like, what's the moving forward plan? Most games now are kind of like live service games. So what's that? But sometimes, when it's framed where it's like, I mean, so many people are like, do you think this game is worth the amount of times I've gotten some flavor of, do you think this game is worth $40? I don't want to buy it and enjoy it for 6 months and then have the game die. And I'm like, and I get that inside that question is a real question and a real concern, and I want to engage with you. But there's so many layers of like, man, like you think spending...
Is this Civic really going to be worth it? Because you know what? Is it going to last 800,000 miles, bro?
I'm like...
Is it going to last 800,000 miles?
Like,
I don't know, man.
Mario Kart World is $90. Like, and you're wondering if 6 months of enjoyment out of a $40 game is worth it? And I get that there's two separate pieces of that question. There's, am I going to get $40 worth of enjoyment out of the game? And even if the game was free... And this is when you get to the real issue. The other half of that question is, even if the game was free, people are asking, is the game going to die? Because there is the gaming landscape is just in this weird place where like part of the enjoyment I get out of the game is just that other people are playing. And if no one else, like, you know what I mean? Like if you just obfuscated Steam numbers, so many people would enjoy so many more games, because like games can run, you know, they don't have to have hundreds of thousands of players to run. Like there are like Hunt Showdown probably has like 30,000 people playing concurrently, and that community is thriving and like does really well. But some people would just see that as like not enough people playing, even though their lobbies would be full, their matchmaking would be quick. It's super weird. And so I say all that to say we're getting a lot of answers to those questions of like what the longevity is. So we talked a little bit about like their weird plan for wipes, where it's going to be like prestige, but you can only do it every 8 weeks. And you kind of have to like spend that 8 weeks basically like working on it and like submitting a ton of resources and stuff you have to go find. And then during that 8-week thing, so we have the first expedition, you can start it, and we're kind of like uncovering that. And it's going to be, I mean, you're going to need to just have that happen a couple times to see how that, like, how many people do it? How does that affect the gameplay? What are the rewards for doing it? Is it worth it? All that kind of stuff. Another big thing, and this is great. This has been, so many people have been confused by this. And I keep saying, I was like, yo, I get this because of the podcast. They have this thing called trials, which is like their leaderboard ranked mode. And it's confusing a lot of people. It's GeoGuessr. And that's why I get it, because you've explained this to me so many times. So what it is, it's not GeoGuessr the game, but the way their ranking system works. So what it is like in Arc Raiders, there's 5 challenges to do that change every week. So on Sunday, Monday, they're going to change over to 5 new challenges. When you go into raid, you don't have to do any of this stuff. But like the 5 challenges this week are like harvest edibles, damage arc enemies, damage one specific one, the leaper, kill ticks, and open probes. Those are the 5 challenges. And so when you go in there, you're just doing your thing. Every time you do one of those things, you get points towards that challenge. And then there's 3 tiers. So if you get a lot of points, you get like rewarded for it. And all those points you get go towards your score on the leaderboard. And it's cool because so we're just going to take one. One is like damage arc enemies. If I go in and do 10,000 damage to arc enemies, I get 10,000 points on my leaderboard. I can only get more points on the leaderboard by damaging arc enemies if I do more than that 10,000. You have to beat your personal best. So every raid after that, if I do less than 10,000, I don't add any more points, right? But the way the ranking works is just like GeoGuessr. It splits everyone in the community up into just groups of 100. I don't think it's like region. I think it's just random groups of 100. And every Monday when the challenges swap over, only the top players get promoted in rank. So like it starts with rookie. Yes, it's rookie 1, rookie 2, rookie 3, try hard 1, 2, 3. There's like ranks all the way up to the top is called Cantina Legend. And
Rainbow 1.
Yeah. And you only rank up if based on your position on the leaderboard on Monday when the challenges swap. And it's a live points thing where like the 100 people that you're with, like if they go crazy, they can like bump you off. It's really forgiving at first. Like this very first one, the top 60 people get promoted. The top 30 people get promoted twice, but it's going to get harder as you climb up in rank. And then the very last rank, Cantina Legend, is literally only the top 100 players in the world. So that's going to be like an ever-evolving leaderboard where people keep getting popped out of the whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's such a good idea for like long-term replayability of the game because it's competitive, but competitive in not like it's competitive in a way that enhances the game, doesn't detract from the game, because the challenges like push you to go do things. The people that want to be competitive aren't just going to be like taking the best stuff and then stomping newer players. because
yeah.
it's based on the challenges. Like one of the challenges this week is harvest food. It's just like one of the loot items. So that's 20% of your score because that's one of the 5 challenges. So even if you're a Giga Chad, you're like trying to avoid PvP because you want to hit as many harvestables as you can.
Yeah.
And you get 2x points during major map conditions, like the nighttime mode. So like the night raids it's called, that's a major map condition. So it also pushes the like most competitive people to those type of modes, kind of doing like a pseudo Arena Breakout Infinite like lockdown mode. You know what I mean? It's like, that's like the Chad mode basically. So it's challenges that change every week, leaderboards that are like worth a grind. The rewards are actually good, like in-game items and stuff like that. But you can completely ignore the whole system if you don't want. Like there's no like actual content gated behind it. It's just if you want to grind the leaderboard, there's something to do every single week to like keep your rank, to keep your position. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we've been kind of like uncovering that, and I think it's really cool.
Damn.
So, I mean, I just thought about like that, like that would go so hard in Tarkov. Like we had talked a ton in the past about like, oh, it'd be sick if there were like gun related quests, like kill 1,000 scavs with an MP7 or something like that. But imagine it was like an ever changing thing. Like it was like, it's a community thing. Like every week there were 5 challenges, like kill the most amount of scavs or kill a certain amount of times or loot a certain amount of duffel bags. It would just give literally any impetus to like for something to do in your Tarkov raid that the PvP would accentuate. Like, just give me anything to do that's not just the same quest I've already done, and it's not gatekeeping content behind it. It's like, that's why questing is so rough, because it's like when you die, you're like, I had the pocket watch, and you're just like, oh my God. Whereas if in Arc Raiders, we're going to do a trials run where it's like, let's see how many arc damage we can get. If we end up running into a bunch of PvP, we're like, oh, let's just reset and like try this again. We have all this loot. Like the PvP accentuates it as opposed to detracts from it. And so I was like, yo, this would have been like insane for replayability in something like Tarkov, because it every week changes and gives you just like something to do and like rewards you for doing it, but not so much that you feel like compelled to do it.
Yeah.
So that's been super interesting, and I'm super excited to kind of like see how that goes. And then let me see if I can find it here. Oh, yes. And then we got 2 days after they released the game, they gave us a roadmap for the rest of 2025. So in November, we're getting a patch with a new map, new arc enemies, new gameplay items like guns, and new quests. And then in December, we're getting another patch with snow, like a snowfall map condition, new map conditions. That's when the expedition departs, a new like battle pass thing, and more quests, which I was kind of surprised by how much content is coming out already. But I mean, that's more content than we get in a Tarkov wipe. And that's in the 60 days after the launch of the game.
When you said December, you mean December 2034, right?
Yeah, no, December 2025. Yeah.
Yikes, dude.
Yeah. So that has been like a big, basically we have the expedition, which is like the prestige thing that we're like learning about as we go, as we do it. The trials thing, in my opinion, adds a lot of replayability for me, because once I'm done with the quests, like every week I'm going to be out there trying to like min-max my score and stuff like that. Then we have new content coming every month so far over the next couple months. Like there's a lot. So there seems to be a lot of replayability and a lot of support coming for the game. I watched an interview with the CEO of Embark, and he said that since the finals launched, they've updated the finals every 7 days, once a week, every week for the past like almost 2 years that the finals has been out. Obviously, some of that is just like back end stuff. I think they just do like a scheduled whatever. And they said they plan to support Arc Raiders similarly. Like, I think they have lots of stuff planned. They said in a different interview at TwitchCon that they had always considered this a 10-year game for them, like 10 years of like support and content for it. So yeah, so there's a lot, and all this is like the new stuff that we hadn't seen in any of the tests before. So it's like cool to kind of like dive into that. It's been great.
Has it been feeling different? Like there's an influx. Well, actually, first of all, is it cross-platform?
Mm-hmm.
So playing against like all the PlayStation normies that are also new to the game, are you like stomping them, or
all the tests have been cross-platform? Even the Server Slam was.
Oh, well, I must have only been playing against mouse and keyboard. Surely,
surely
I
was only playing against mouse and keyboard. Oh. Yeah. No, I mean, not really. Like, I don't know. Like it, yeah, I don't feel like we're like stomping like players that have no idea what they're doing. It feels like, I don't know. It feels great so far. I mean, we've had, bouts where we go lots of raids without dying, but I feel like it's in a good spot in terms of like, we don't, like, because I'm such a progression guy. Like, I love questing and I want to unlock the thing. I want to upgrade my thing so I can do the thing. Like, we don't even PvP every raid.
Yeah.
There are raids where we PvP a lot. Like, there are raids where we have like 12 or 14 kills between all of us. But there are raids where we don't even, and they feel just as successful. A really interesting thing is happening. I think it's a combination of, I don't know how to, I don't know where it's all coming from, but I think like 11 different like D20 rolls all hit to like the gaming industry as a whole, some of the clips that came out of the tech tests, some big content creators, like a bunch of stuff hit. But this game has the most people that VoIP I've ever seen, ever. And the solo experience in this game is like, it's a different game. It's a different game. Like, normally when there's like a beta, everybody's always VoIPing and whatever, because it's like, you're not really going to lose anything if you die. So it's whatever. And then normally it's like a steamroll when the game comes out. Dude, there's an achievement, a Steam achievement for taking an extract with somebody that's not in your party. And 36 hours after the game came out,
would have been 4 of us that all got that during one of my raids.
Yeah. During the 36 hours after the game came out, 50% of the players had that achievement. 50%.
Dude, I genuinely wonder how many of them were people on their hands and knees.
Probably a lot. But like, it's so crazy how many people, like, it's so, the vibes on like solo, so many people are friendly. And I've already gotten betrayed like a couple of times solo, and which is just like, it's just the cost of doing business, right? Like, you have to have that risk of being betrayed in order for when you don't get betrayed to feel good. But dude, the community is like so rallied around like VoIP and like helping each other out, and it's so sick. It's so sick. So, and
that's so exciting, man.
And I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, I know the whole TPP thing throws people off. I don't know how, like, the whole like cross-platform thing, like, this type of game feels like, I don't know, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe this is just a feeling, but like, I feel like a shooter like the finals is much more impacted by the whole like aim assist. It's too much. It's not enough. Like, cause it's very like flick heavy movements and tracking and first person, and people are flying across your screen. Like, I don't know. And maybe this is just a feeling, like I literally would be down to admit I'm totally wrong, but because it's third person and because the movement is very slow and the guns are very like, not like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like I've ever been like, oh my God, that guy had aim assist. Like that guy's a controller player. He just beamed me. Like, I don't know. Maybe that's crazy, but it just doesn't feel like a game that the cross-platform thing matters as much. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot there. It's gonna be interesting to see the evolution of this, because like a year from now, this is the way it kind of always goes, is a year from now it's gonna feel different. And the reason why is a big question mark. Is it because there will be a bunch more cheaters? Is it because there will be a bunch of people who are like really good? Like they,
sure, the skill
maybe there aren't
ceiling will
really
definitely
real.
rise. Yeah.
So there's going to be a lot more questions around, and like you will have died 10 million times. So you will have like an implicit feeling for like what's normal.
For sure.
So like a lot of things are going to change, and it could be that the game is changing. It could be you've changed. It could be the other players are changed.
100%.
It could be all of the
and
above.
Most likely some grouping of all of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And the whole mouse and keyboard versus controller thing is just another variable that's going to make things a little bit. It's going to be one more thing that people are going to bitch about and not agree on.
Undoubtedly. Yeah. But like my thing is like, once again, like I don't know. Maybe it's like genuinely, once again, this is a thing where like, please, if you're a listener, don't listen to what I have to say and be like, Jesse thinks he's an authority on the subject. I'm literally just going to say like mad cause bad. I'm too old, boomer energy. Like, I just don't like, it's so funny when I play the finals with some people, like I've played with a couple of people where they go like, they'll be like, oh, yep. And they'll check the scoreboard and they'll see, it tells you if they're on console, and they'll be like, I knew it. Old. Like, I'm not saying I don't believe those people. I'm old. Never in my entire life playing the finals have I been like, that was weird. Oh, he's on controller, aim assist. Like, I just suck too much to notice that shit. So
yeah.
My opinion is like, I don't know. I love cross-platform games. I feel like we begged for that as in the gaming sphere for like our whole lives growing up. We like, if you played on PlayStation, you couldn't play with your buddies on Xbox, or you couldn't play with your buddies on PC. Like, and we have it, and now I feel like it's one of the most complained about things. And I'm not saying that there aren't games where the balance is very off. Like, I don't play enough games to give an authority on that. Literally, like, one of the only games I play with crossplay is the finals, because I've been a Tarkov Andy. So I believe that there are games where it's really, really bad.
I learned this. You could actually play Counter-Strike on Xbox back in the day. I had no idea.
Really?
I had no idea.
So once again, I believe that that's an issue. I believe it's whatever. But yeah, like, I don't know. I think it's, I think it's one of those things where people will complain about anything. So why not add, oh yeah, and you can turn crossplay off in Arc Raiders. Yeah, so you can just turn it off if you don't want to play crossplay. Bang. I forgot. Thank you, chatter. But yeah, I think it's cool that everybody can play together. I don't think a third person shooter like this, when the AI is so, once again, like when the AI is so present and so difficult and so annoying, and there's like, and it's third person, like, I just don't feel like the flicking and the tracking of like the aim assist is going to be that big of a deal. I could be wrong. I'll totally eat my words. Like, will people complain about it? Sure, of course. Just like people will complain about cheaters when the guy's not cheating, and they will complain about cheaters when the guy is cheating, and who knows. And I also think you're absolutely right that we are like, undoubtedly, like, I will be the first one to admit we are in the honeymoon period. As with any game, right? Like you said, people are going to learn it. They're going to min-max it. The skill ceiling is going to rise dramatically. There's going to be, like, in 3 weeks, I'm going to be talking about how, like, everybody's doing this one thing. Everybody always, like, rolls left with the Pharaoh and then gets 2 shots. And, like, there's going to be that stuff. My thing is, like, who cares? It's fun now. If it's not fun in the future, I'll say it's not fun in the future. This isn't what you were doing, but this is what other people, saying it's not fun. It's like, you're in the good old days. Enjoy the good old days. I'm not disagreeing that maybe it's going to suck ass in 6 weeks, but
yeah,
why hate it? Like, oh my God, and it's fun now. Enjoy the fun. And then if it's ass, then we should be like, yo, this is ass, and maybe they'll balance it. But But yeah, so I don't remember what the point of all that was, but yeah, you can play with console players. You can turn crossplay off. You can squad fill if you want. You can turn squad fill off. The solos prioritizes getting put with solos. Trios get prioritized getting put with trios. It's not a guarantee, but it's like a pretty much guarantee. They already have the anti-cheat thing, the best anti-cheat in an extraction shooter, which is when a cheater gets banned, whether you have reported them or not, they keep a record of all the people that were in those lobbies and that person killed, and you get all your stuff back, all of it, everything you had on you. We're already seeing screenshots like, hey, you were in a game with unfair players, but good. We got your gear back.
I wonder if it might just be easiest to just like duplicate those items, because like they could have
maybe
gone into a raid with it and lost it, right? Like at some point
it probably just duplicates.
It just came to mind. I'm curious about how that would ever be implemented.
Which would make sense because there's no player market. There's no flea market. So the player economy can't like get inflated. Like if they ban the guy and then that guy just loses his account and they just duplicate a bunch of items and give it back to the people or whatever, that doesn't like have this like macro, effect on the price of the goods on the flea market. Yeah, that probably is how they do it. The end of raid summary of your raid is like insanely good as well. So it's like it shows you the map, it shows you where you started, it shows everywhere you went, all of the major things that happened, like when you took damage, when you dealt damage, when you found some rare loot, and then you can hit tab and cycle through interactions with players. So I had somebody where I was playing with Redstone, and so we're duoed, and his VoIP is broken in the game. He can't figure out why, so he can't hear the VoIP. We 2v3 this team right at the extract because we heard the extract. We weren't camping it. We just heard the extract, so we ran over. We 2v3 this team. Some people think it's cringe, which is fine. I'm so like a kid in a candy store. A lot of times when a fight ends, I'll VoIP. I'll be like, yo, GG's, good fight, fam. And so I said that, yo, GG's, good fight. Dude VoIPs, kill yourself. First thing, just kill yourself. And so when that happens, I go full. It's such a like power trip because they're on their hands and knees crawling around, and I won the fight. So when they hit me with that, I'm just like, oh, Widow baby, so sad he got killed. And then he just like hard R N-word over VoIP. And I was like, those were the only two things he said. I was like, whoa. And so there's no like dog.
That's where I would be like totally fucking fine being a streamer Karen and going to my like I know that people hate that. I don't care. If you're gonna be like that, you can go fuck yourself.
Dude, that's why
I don't feel bad.
I went through my match summary and I tabbed through and I found exactly, because there's no dog tag, so I didn't know his name, right? But I tabbed through and I could tell based on like when it's like I knew that I killed him second. So it was like damage dealt to this guy, damage dealt to this guy, damage dealt to this guy. So I went back to the middle guy and then it gave me his name. So then I found his name and I reported him. And I was like, the end of...
Can you report like in through the game?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And do you have like choose like a reason?
You click report and then it's like cheating, VoIP abuse. There's like 4 other reasons. And then if you want, there's a dialogue box where you can type anything. And I was like,
hard R plus the fucking
so
self-harm threats.
Yeah. So it's like the aftermatch summary is insane. The cheating thing, the fact that you get your gear back is insane. I mean, like, once again, like I hate to bring it back to Tarkov because once again, I wish Tarkov nothing but the best, even though it's not like, the game I'm the most excited about. But like we just a couple of weeks ago, when I was playing Tarkov, we were joking about how still to this day, if you report a cheater and they get banned, you get like 30,000 rubles. Like you get enough money for a Propital if you report a cheater and they get banned. Like, I'm not saying every game, like, I can understand how Tarkov would have a hard time going back in their spaghetti code and keeping track of all the gear and returning items. I can totally understand them being like, hey, we want to implement a system that helps alleviate the cheating problem, but that's way too much. But it's like, it should be minimum 1 million rubles. Like, minimum. Like, it's crazy that, like, 30,000 rubles, I would rather you not reward me than give me enough money for a Propital.
I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, that's another one of those features that, like, would actually be fairly trivial to implement in a number of different ways. Like, you know, you could ostensibly just track either what people went in with, or when they started a raid, calculate. This would be the problem of determining the value of what you had, like the value of your gear.
Yeah.
At the start of the raid.
Yeah.
And then all they need to do is save raid ID, player ID, and integer for value.
Yep.
As opposed to, like, I bet you what Arc probably does is they probably have this whole, like, object that kind of meta represents everything, all the different events, all the different, you know, player ID, you know, every time you go and interact with a thing, it tracks the timestamp with an event. And oh god, now I'm geeking out about how cool it would be to design a system like that.
Yeah. And yeah, I totally get that. Like, Arc Raiders has the benefit of, like, their game is new. Like, they had the benefit of, like, thinking of that before their game was out and then having the time to, like, create an elegant system. Once again, it's like, it's more the principle of the thing on the Tarkov, where it's like, you got to give us more or give us nothing. Like, it's just so crazy. But yeah, dude, it's like, it's just so, like, refined. I see, and this actually doesn't even really bother me. I see, like, a really common description of the game from the Tarkov community is like baby's first Tarkov, or like Tarkov for normies, Tarkov for casuals. Like, I get that's honestly to be expected. Like, there's so many people with Stockholm syndrome around, like, how tedious this game is, but I find it to be such a refined experience. Like, for example, there's durability in the game, but as far as I can tell, durability matters none at all until it hits 0, and then that thing breaks. So, like, if your gun hits 0 durability in the middle of the raid, it is broken and you can't shoot it. But when it's at 12 durability, it's not like you can't aim with it. It's not jamming every 10 seconds. And that means, like, we are constantly being like, oh, hey, don't forget to repair your guns. And repairing costs materials. So it adds to the loop of, like, oh, so
like, when you're in raid, every now and then you need to make sure you grab some mats, right?
These two things that I know are primarily for repairing green guns, I need to grab those. Like, I'm running low, boom. Same thing with shields. And shields, actually, they lose durability by taking damage. So you can go in with your blue shield or whatever. And if you get in, like, 3, 4, 5 PvP fights, that shield might break in the middle of the raid. And you can hot swap, as long as it's of the same tier shield or lower. You can hot swap in raid, and then, but I want to keep my, especially if it's like a blue or a purple one, I want to keep my broken one so that when I go out of raid, I can repair it. And that's a whole nother set of materials that you're getting so that you can repair. And so the durability, to me, like, you know, we've been asking, a lot of Tarkov players have been asking the question since they added durability, like, what value does this really add to the game? Because the repair is just money. So it's like, it's just like a very tiny money sink, and everybody just ends up buying new guns when their gun is at 94 durability. And it feels like the whole system gets bypassed. Whereas in Arc, I feel like the durability adds to the game. It enhances it. It gives me more things to carry. It's more things I'm actually concerned about. I feel like an active participant in it, being like, the amount of times we've been like, my shield is at 13 durability, which means I can still recharge it and use it, but we have to be aware of that, because if we get into a PvP fight and my shield takes damage, I might not, like, it adds to the, like, experience of a raid and being like, oh, well, this was our plan, but then this happened, so now we're going to do this because that, and it feels like it enhances the experience. That to me feels much more like refined.
Tarkov is only ever we go into a raid and we have like a goal in mind. Something happens and we leave.
Yes.
Like we just gotta reset.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, it's either we stay in or we get out. That's like the extent of your decision making.
There's in-raid crafting. There's a crafting menu in raid. You can craft shield rechargers and bandages.
Oh, they have a multi-tool?
Yeah.
Their multi-tool was functional on day one? That's wild.
Yeah. And so the amount of times we've gone into a raid, we got into a couple of fights we didn't think we were going to get into. Now I'm out of meds. What do you do in Tarkov? I'll just reset and try this quest later. In Arc Raiders, we go, let's go to this POI because I can loot stuff and recycle them into fabric and rubber parts, and I can craft more meds. And then we can go do our quest.
Yeah.
It's just like, and that's why I think it's so funny, the whole like baby's first Tarkov, perspective from the Tarkov community. I'm like, dude, some of this is like so much better. Like, what do you mean? It's like, but once again, those people think that that's what makes Tarkov special, is like, you got fucked. Now you have to leave, spend 10 minutes queuing again. That's what, I mean, I told you, we talked about this 2 weeks ago. Somebody unironically said in my chat, I think maybe it was an elaborate troll. They said, I hope Tarkov never fixes their queue times. It's part of the charm. Like, we're just so off the rails with what makes Tarkov that when people are like, oh, this is baby's first Tarkov, I'm like, dude, sure.
That's part of the charm. I mean, you can just leave a raid and then set a timer on your phone to beep after 6 minutes and then hit
queue on Arc. Yeah.
Yeah, like if that's yikes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of like things like that.
And it seems like something that we talked about a million times that I like always wished you could do in Tarkov, and it was more of a thing for like DayZ maybe, where like if you have to get materials, that almost seems like the kind of thing that you'd want to have a stockpile. So like I would do a scav run, and it would literally be a scav run where it's like, okay, I'm going to go around and I'm going to collect these 3 sets of mats. That's all I'm looking for to try and get out. Like, I'm not even looking to fight, whatever. With Tarkov, you're like, you might be looking for like hideout shit as a scav. But really, it feels like what most people scav is they hope that they come across like the scav boss, and a player. The player killed everybody, but then him and the scav boss traded.
Yep.
And there's just like a bunch of loot, and you just get up and leave, right?
Yep.
Like, you hope to find, dead guys, which I guess is like, maybe that's more RPing as a fucking scavenger.
Yeah. But I mean,
I always wanted the idea of like, we got to go to a fuel run. We got to go do this run, right? Imagine if you had to take the empty container of gas into interchange and.
No, I'm with you. And I think, not to say it's bad, I think, the flea market, I loved the flea market. I'm not saying Tarkov was bad, but we've talked about how that was the moment where the economy turn thing into money, turn money into the thing I want, right? So money was everything. And nobody really could have predicted, like, I don't know, maybe not nobody. I couldn't have predicted how that changed the game. I don't think BSG did either, because remember, they still had the flea market and the auction house, and then after what happened to the flea market, they kind of like took away the auction house, and then they've changed the flea market a lot. So I'm not saying like Tarkov devs, you suck or whatever, but I'm just saying like that was kind of the moment where it was like, okay, money is the anchor. It's all money. You go into a raid to try to find things that you can turn into money, and then money is the thing you turn into anything. And like Mossy was saying in chat earlier, we're like, I love that there's no flea market. And like, I forgot I was playing with Fixate, and I was like, man, I really wish I could bring a shotgun, but I don't have the blueprint, so I can't craft the shotgun yet. And he was like, you can just buy it. We played 3 days of Arc Raiders. I forgot you could buy things from the traders for money, because the crafting is such the like forward facing thing. And,
Yeah.
and it's like, and you shouldn't buy things because they're like the value, like it's too expensive to buy them. I do sometimes, but like, and so it makes everything in the game matter, because all of the base materials, like there's like 5 base materials, everything can basically recycled into this, and then that gets recycled into this. Everything gets recycled down to like plastic parts, rubber parts, chemicals, fabric, and metal parts. Those are the 5 basic materials. And those are all your basic crafts and your basic barters and your basic stuff. But then there's all sorts of higher tier blue guns, purple guns, and they all need all this kind of stuff. And so like the refiner in your hideout allows you to upcycle things. So you can take a bunch of chemicals and some cloth and turn that into the durable cloth, which you can then use to craft the better meds. So at no point do those 5 basic materials become valueless. You don't need them. You need to trade. You need them to craft the better materials to trade and craft the better things. So it goes both ways. Everything can be recycled down into the stuff you want, and things can be recycled up. So I am I turned in a bunch of fabric for like a quest or something, and then I was like, I need to go on a fabric run, and I need to like be recycling everything down into fabric so I can make meds for my future runs. Like the crafting loop adds so much to do. Like it adds so much intentionality outside of quest, outside of PvP, outside of rank. You're like, I need to go farm this mat because I need this. So I want to craft this because I can do this. And then you have one big devastating loss where you lose 10 of the healing items that take the mats. And then you're like, I got to do it again. And you want to do it again because you want to work up to the big run where you take all the good meds and the good guns and the good it's like, it feels so good, dude. So,
right. I gotta say, it's a funny thing that happened the other day. We were driving, me and my wife we were driving, and I mentioned something about his my birthday is November 10th. And I think like Tarkov gets released like 3 days after or whatever.
5 days after.
5 days after. And I said something to her basically. I'm like, oh yeah, 1.0 is coming out. And she like did the whole like record scratch, like looked at me and she's like, wait, Tarkov's been in beta this whole time? She could not believe it. She's like, you're joking. She thought it came out in 2018.
Oh.
I was like, oh, babe, now, and she's like, oh,
babe,
like,
Tarkov's finally coming out.
She's like, oh, that makes kind of a lot more sense as to why, yeah. So I just thought it was
why we need
funny.
therapy because of this game.
Yeah, she was like, wait, it's been in beta, and I mean, like, I was like, just impressed that she had the deduction, right? That I'm like, oh, it's coming out 1.0, and that my non-gamer wife would think like it's coming out of 1.0. That means that it was in like, before 1.0, generally beta.
Yep.
Just like, yeah. So.
Yep. Yeesh. But yeah, man. So I don't know. I've been loving it. I've been enjoying it.
We got to play next week.
Yeah, dude. 100%. It's got great vibes. It's got good PvP. It's got good PvE. I know. I mean, like, obviously, you got a lot of people are saying that, like, a lot of people had the take that, like, the PvE sucks. But I think it's so well designed. And then, of course, you have a ton of people saying, like, the third person sucks, which is understandable. Like, it's a subjective thing. Like, I get it. I love it. I think it's great. I think it's all the concerns I would have had about third person PvP are very overcomeable. And yeah, I don't know. That might just be like me in the honeymoon phase, glazing game. I'll be glad to admit that I'm wrong. If in 6 weeks it's like, bro, everyone's just third person peeking XYZ. I just feel like there's so much utility in the game to like prevent that I've had no problems with that. Like I haven't had any fights where I was like, damn it, I died because of that. It's like, I don't know. So But I also get that some people just don't like it, and that's totally fine. But I've been enjoying it. I think it's fresh. I think it feels good.
So that reminded me. I had somebody who I've known for a bit now, Darren Dawson. He mentioned on Twitter. He tagged me, and so now I'm reading it again, and now I'm like, I think maybe my initial interpretation of what he said was wrong,
Okay.
and it might be the opposite. But basically, I'll read what he said,
Okay.
and then you tell me if maybe you understand it better, because this might be a case of some dyslexia. He said, "What would third person bring to Tarkov in terms of unintentional masking of its myriad of features? It just dawned on me the extra information from the wider perspective may mask a lot of the jank. Arc Raiders FPS would be a worse experience, I think." And it says Arc Raider devs with like a cook
Oh yeah,
emoji.
yeah.
So like I now I can't tell. Is he you think he's asking, or do you think that the idea is that like third person masks the jank?
I think
Or
maybe that's what he's saying. Like, I think I don't think he's necessarily saying Tarkov would be better third person. I think he's saying thought experiment here. Would any Tarkov jank be covered up if you had the extra information of a third person? I think that's what he's saying. I don't really know what he's like getting at. I'd love to be like, what jank are you talking about? Because from my experience thinking and speaking way too much about Escape from Tarkov, the issues I have with Tarkov, I don't think would be really alleviated with third person.
yeah, I'm trying to think of what and maybe I probably should have clarified, because I was like, oh yeah, I can ask Jesse what he thinks. But I originally, when I read it, I thought he was saying how like Arc Raiders, it's almost like the additional perspective would let you like the literally additional perspective would would show you the jank. And
Oh
like,
yeah,
so like Tarkov like couldn't get away with that.
yeah.
But then before that he had said he doesn't like the camera restriction of wait. Still fuck. I when I read all this, dude, I don't know, I must have been high or something. He said he's not at his best, but the TTK is jarring coming from Tarkov. He's just got to adjust, and it's been 8 years since he played PUBG. He says, but I love the world. I don't like the camera restriction. That has to be about Arc Raiders.
Yeah. I don't know what he means by that.
It's weird because it's like camera restriction. You could say that kind of about either.
Yeah.
Like it's restricted to first person or it's restricted to third person. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Maybe that's what he means, because I think for a while, correct me if I'm wrong, you could switch between in PUBG, or was I thinking about another game?
In PUBG you could, yeah. All of if you go back to fucking 8 years ago or whatever, all my original videos were all PUBG was third person.
Yeah. So maybe he's saying not having the ability to switch is the restriction?
Maybe, yeah. Third person.
We need fourth person.
Dude, I remember now granted this was early on, so maybe everyone was bad, like similar to Tarkov, but like I would go into squad games as a solo.
Yeah, squad
and I would win
squad fill off solo squads, yeah.
Yeah, and I would win against groups of 4, and I would literally like get chicken dinner.
Yeah.
Because third person was such an advantage.
Yeah. I really think that like I don't think they would ever do it, but I think most people that like, I guess what I'm trying to say is once again, like I feel like I have to qualify every statement with saying like, I don't think you're the enemy if you prefer first person games. But what I do think is that if you could snap your fingers tomorrow and play Arc Raiders first person, you would hate it because the AI were all made for you to need and utilize the third person camera to gain information about where they are. So they would be 3 times as oppressive. Then you would say that we need massive changes to the AI, and then you would just have a different game.
Yeah.
You would have a completely different game with completely different AI. And like, you know what I mean? You would just have, like, at that point, you would have Tarkov with, you would have the caricature. You would have Tarkov with robots, because it would need to be tuned. This would need to be tuned. This need to be tuned. The time to kill here, this, and you would just end up with, like, that game. You'd be like, this isn't as fun as Tarkov. And then you'd be like, well, why would I play? Like, you know what I mean? And so I'm not saying you're the enemy if you like first person. And I can understand you being like, I love the aesthetic of this world. I love the aesthetic of Arc Raiders, and I wish a first person game was made with this vibe. That I can totally get behind. But I think you would just start down a cascade of changes that would end with the game just being a completely different game, and probably a game that you would be like, this is a less good version of the game I'm trying to get it to emulate, and you probably wouldn't play it. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my take on it, is that you can't change it because it was made for this. But I can understand you being like, damn, I wish it was made for this. Dude, I'm with you. I think if from conception they made it with that in mind, it probably would slap. But I don't know. It just wouldn't work, in my opinion, the way it is. And I think that the arc and the AI and all that kind of stuff is like part of what makes this game special. So I wouldn't want all those things changed in service of it being a first person game, personally. Oh, is this SPT?
Yeah, this is SPT mod. I
Oh
guess.
my god.
I thought, dude, why is there a crosshair? I thought this was hardcore.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, I kind of like the leaning with it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be able to switch shoulders. So.
Yeah.
Which you could do in Arc.
Yeah. This is crazy to look at.
Okay, now I kind of want third-person Tarkov. Honestly. Like, genuinely, dude.
Wow, that's crazy looking.
Oh my god. As with all these games, though, I want the ability to, like, scroll wheel up and down to, like, zoom in and out.
Yeah, like a first-person game, yeah. Or, sorry, like a single-player game.
Yeah. That's so funny, dude.
That is wild. That is wild. Yeah, it looks like an uber realistic The Division, because The Division was kind of like in a lot of ways, like the great grandfather of extraction shooters.
Oh, you mean Marathon Simulator?
Oh, yeah. Well, that's every game. Well, not saying DayZ, The Division. Did you ever play The Division? Yeah, so
I never played, like, what is it called?
The Dark
like
Zone.
The Dark Zone, yeah. Yeah, never got that far.
Yeah. That was
once I faced some enemies that had like 30,000 HP or whatever, and it was just like, I mean, it was like almost as bad as Killa.
Yeah, that was what took a lot of people out of it. I loved The Division, The Dark Zone. The Dark Zone was like, yeah, that was the first time I really truly felt like stress playing a video game. It really was kind of like the great grandfather, because you didn't lose any of the stuff you brought in with you when you died in the Dark Zone, but you lost all the gear you found in the Dark Zone. The stuff you found in there, you had to go extract it. And if you died, you lost that stuff. So, yeah. Oh man, that was the first time where I was like, holy shit, playing a game. It was sick.
You never played fucking Super Mario on the NES? Come on, you get to
course,
like the end of that, and you're like, holy shit,
That's true. Back when you couldn't friggin' save it.
Me and my sister, when I was like 7, dude, we had a chant. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. We would fucking chant to hype ourselves up so that we could be like fucking Bowser or whatever.
I love that.
Because it was horrifying.
I love that.
Bro, there was nothing scarier than the ship level that like slow scrolled.
Oh.
With the cannons.
Yeah.
And the music, bro, that was like stress because you had to move, otherwise you die. You know, fuck that. That was literally that was the first like red zone. That was the smoke pushing you. Like
there's the battle royale.
The battle royale, dude. That was you got to keep moving.
Oh man, that's actually really funny.
Oh my god, OG Resident Evil. Tell me you played Resident Evil on
not back in the day, bro. I wasn't a horror. No way. I was genuinely too scared. Genuinely too scared to play those games.
Bro, oh my god. I mean, how much of it have you seen?
I mean,
of like Resident Evil 2, like
yeah, I've seen quite a bit. I ended up getting a couple of the OG games like much later in life. I never like beat them, but I just like played a little bit of them to see the novelty, and then I've like seen creators play them and stuff. Back when like the camera was fixed and you would just like walk from room to room, right?
Yeah, I remember fucking what was so stressful needing ink ribbons to save. Like you needed a resource to save the game.
That's crazy.
And like every time you went up to a door, it was just like cutscene. And you would just hope there was nothing there and you just walk in and then it would fade to the next screen. But like, 1 out of every 7 times, it's just like, at the last minute. One of the first, and it's like one of the greatest moments in video game history, I'm telling you, where you're like walking down a hallway, it's like quiet. You walk in another room, it's quiet. You walk in another room and it's like this long hallway and you're walking along and you just see something go on the outside of the windows.
Uh-huh.
And you're like, no, dude, no. And then you take one turn and it's like poof, comes through the ceiling.
No.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
nope. I was way too scared as a kid to play that. But yeah, so that's Arc Raiders, man. I'm loving it. There's tons of stuff to do, tons of content, tons of fun, tons of content I want to make. I'm enjoying it. I'm playing with my friends. I'm playing a little bit of solo. It's just like it's everything I wanted it to be. It's everything I wanted it to be. So I'm stoked. But yeah, that's all I've been doing, man. I've been doing like 12+ hour days on that all weekend. I was up at 3 o'clock in the morning playing for launch day, and we've been having a blast. What have you been up to? I saw you've been MegaBonking.
Yeah, I got into MegaBonk. I basically 100%ed PowerWash Sim 2 already. Already, yeah, pretty much. And I still it's so funny. I'm like done with everything, and now it's like I actually have the drive to go back and start over, but not start over, like free play.
Okay.
Because I've got like the Giga Trident power washing, whatever, and which is just so much like more satisfying.
Yeah.
Because it's like at the beginning, like imagine seeing like a dirty window and you have like the satisfying squeegee that just like perfectly cuts a line and takes. Originally, when you start, you're like, shh, and it's just like, it's like if you were to take your sleeve and do it, it's like, so you have to go shh, and then it's like a chunk, and then you know what I mean. But this new one, it's just like, it's very satisfying.
Yeah.
They added for all intents and purposes, it's the same exact game, except with 40 new levels.
Yep.
Some new equipment. There's double the amount of power washers, and some new attachments. And there's like a scissor lift that you have now, which is actually just kind of annoying. It's not. They have this other attachment which is cool. It's like it attaches onto the environment. That's like almost like a rope swing. So you walk up to it and there's like a seat on the bottom and you just sit, and then it could go up and down, and left
like the
and
guys
right.
that wash the skyscraper windows, like those things that they're on. Yeah. Okay.
But once you get the good washer and you have the extended attachment, you just stand 50 feet back and reach the top. So it's and then there's this also it's almost like those circular floor buffers, but it's like
a power washer.
Sprays, water down, and it's for the problem with it though is it's there's something about it that's fucking weird. And it's really hard to describe, but you'd have to feel it. So it has an extendable kind of arm, and on the So if you have like the top part, and then there's the bottom part, and it like retracts right
Uh-huh.
in. So when you start to do this, you can see on the inner one there's like a red line, and it'll show you when you're like out of extension.
Gotcha.
But if you go too far, so like if you move your mouse up, you're like extending it, but then when you extend it too far, it pulls it back. Because it basically like needs to be like on the floor.
Yeah.
But then when if you're not close enough to the floor, then it like retracts it. So it's like really awkward when you're like far enough, far enough, far enough. Okay, it's gonna feel like it's in the right spot a little bit, but nope.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's this bizarre thing, and the way that you have to do it is like if you look straight down and you move slowly. But if you like were to move your head up, you walk faster.
Yeah, okay.
So it's almost like you need to look down for it not to like for it to clean effectively.
Yeah.
It's just a little janky. So for all intents and purposes, like I think about it as if it's PowerWash Sim 1 DLC.
Yeah, like a big
It's
DLC.
just like 50 new maps.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I'm sure they're gonna have a bunch of DLC and looking forward to it. And then someone had been joking because they were like, oh yeah, and we need what we need is a lawn mowing sim. And I was like, brother, and I pulled up like 900 hours on lawn mowing sim. I'm like, you think I was doing the whole time I was playing? Yeah, the whole time I was fucking flat Earth.
Oh yeah, researching.
Flat Earth researching. And I'm like, oh, you know what I really want? I really want a fucking sequel, right? Lawn Mowing Sim 2, and I like went to go pull it up, and I saw Lawn Mowing Sim 2 just announced, and I was like, oh, I can't wait for that. Hopefully,
Veritas
it comes out before.
Is eating good, bro. PowerWash Sim 2, Lawn Mow Sim 2,
and Escape Simulator 2 just recently came out.
Oh,
so that was like the escape room game.
I do remember you talking about that.
And I basically 100%ed that one. Also, was pretty short.
Yeah.
There was a few things about that were cool. A few things that were like kind of annoying. I got stuck on like 2 different puzzles because I accidentally solved one. And it's one of those things where there's like a couple of versions, and like when you do one, you have to like by doing it, you learn like the rules.
Yeah.
The interior logic, right, of the system. But like I solved the first one by just like logicking it out. You had to like place it was almost like imagine like a grid, like a checkerboard almost.
Okay.
And there were like movable tiles, and like there was like a shield tile, a sword tile, a like helmet tile, and like a person tile. And then there was like a tree and a sun. And like but like 3 of them were like static, and all the rest of them you had to move.
Okay.
And so like I was just like, okay, well, if there's a sword over here and a shield over here, it kind of makes sense that the guy would go in between and the helmet would go on top. And so I did that for one, did that for the other, and I'm like, and there's a sun and a tree, like the sun goes on top of the tree, right? And I did it, and there was like, and it scrolled away. And then later on, I'm trying to solve another one, which has like a ton of other symbols, and I'm like, what's the fucking logic here? And I have these 2 scrolls. I don't know what to do. These scrolls have anything to do. Well, apparently there was a scroll that you're supposed to use with a thing that like you look at like a painting, and it has like, it tells you what the icons mean.
Yeah.
So you like, I guess I just solved it ahead of when I should have solved it.
Yeah.
And if it was a real escape room, someone would be like, you got ahead of yourself there. You don't want to go open the box, But there wasn't. So I just sat there like pissed off for like 30 minutes.
Yep.
Trying to figure it out until finally, because I thought I had everything I needed.
Yep.
But
I can see that.
But overall, that was pretty cool. I've been playing MegaBonk. It's basically MegaBonk is meme filled
Vampire Survivors.
3D Vampire Survivors.
Yeah.
It's like, it's got all the memes. There's there's a guy who's like Mega Chad, and he's like this shirtless dude with jeans that's like jacked, and he like walks like
yeah
And he starts with aura, which is just basically a circle around you, just damages enemies. Which, if you played Vampire Survivors, the garlic is what like gave you like a
The
AOE
aura, yeah.
kind of thing. And there, I mean, honestly, like almost all of the things in Vampire Survivors have like a corollary.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the music, the soundtrack is full of bangers. It's really fun. It's really hard.
In like in a
It's
good way,
definitely
or in like a
yeah.
frustrating way.
No, I would say in a good way. The thing is, like right now, I guess it's only one developer that was working on it, so I was
Yeah.
really surprised to find out that there's only 2 levels.
Okay.
So there's 2 levels, but there's 3 tiers. It's basically just like 3 difficulties. And once you get up to like tier 3 on the second level, it's like I've gotten to like the end boss
Mm-hmm.
like 4 times, and I basically get one shot at every time.
Gotcha.
Whereas like I fought the first boss on the first level like 3 times, and like 2 times I won, but it was like a 5-minute fight.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, it's but I'm sure there's like meta builds and stuff. There's characters and they all have different starting things with like different, so you kind of
Yeah.
like with this character, you really want to kind of go for this and this and this. It's very, very, very similar to Vampire Survivors in a lot of ways. It's a little bit different in some other ways, but so I think it's well worth however many
Yeah.
bucks it costs
And it's funny
to
because it's
buy.
3D, but it's almost like old school RuneScape aesthetic. Like it's not like Unreal Engine 5 3D. It's like
Yeah.
it's a vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I'm just looking forward to kind of like hopefully they made like a gajillion dollars and they can, maybe
Make
hire some
more.
devs
Yeah.
and,
Make
and,
more
and make more, because I mean this could be like a 1,000-hour game easy.
with enough content to
With
replay.
enough content. Yeah, like Vampire Survivors now, it's got like 70 characters and like, 30 maps or whatever.
Yeah.
This game has like, I don't know, there's probably like 30 or 40 characters. There's a bunch of characters, but it's like the same 2 levels can get a little
Yeah. I can see that.
repetitive. Sure. The best one, his name is Calcium. He's the skeleton on a skateboard with like sunglasses.
Hell yeah.
Fucking one of my community members, they say they call him Bony Hawk, which I thought should have been the guy's name in the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, the way that he works is like every time you kill something, he gets his speed increases. And then when he takes damage, it gets cut in half. And you can like also increase your speed a million different ways. You can get things that increase your attack speed based on your movement speed. So like, and you can get like, there's a power up that's like 1 plus 1.7 extra jumps. So like if you start with 1 jump and you have 1.7, which means you can jump, double jump. And if you happen to get something that's like 1.3, then you now have 3 jumps. So it's almost like,
oh my gosh.
But so like the first time I basically like beat the final boss on the first level, it was with Bony Hawk, and dude, I was just like flying around in circles, going super fast, and like when he jumps, he's like a kickflip animation, and I had like 9 jumps, so I was just like just floating through the air. And then one of the maps, dude, is like it's all like sand dunes.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm playing Tribes, bro.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like float across the whole map and like land on the thing and you can slide, and he does like a
so sick.
Dude, it just feels fun. It's crazy hectic. The soundtrack is really good. Like for Mega Chad, it's just like just like fucking straight up rave Jersey Shore ass music, dude. But it's like actually a banger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm excited to see.
I've heard so many good things about that game. I watched a couple people play when it was going nuclear. Like I was like, what is this? And yeah, it just like it looks like such a vibe. I've heard so many good things.
Yeah, it's definitely like one of those kind of crack cocaine kind of experiences, but I can see myself playing it for, I don't know, probably at least another week.
Yeah.
and then I'll be looking for something different. But bro, I gotta tell
Clover
you,
Pit.
I'm gonna look at it. Oh, I also played. They had a free demo, and dude, this game is just so satisfying to me because it has the perfect name. It is just mwah. Have you heard of Final Sentence?
I was gonna ask you if you knew about the typing battle royale.
It's a typing battle royale.
Yeah.
Dude, Final Sentence?
Yeah.
Because like the way it's almost got a kind of like World War II-ish sort of, aesthetic where you're just sitting you're sitting in front of a typewriter.
Going to ask you about this game. Yeah.
And there's like almost looks like a Nazi kind of guy standing there with a revolver, and there's like 20, 30 tables.
Yep.
And there's a guy standing in front of with a revolver, and if you when you're typing, if you make a mistake, it like goes back, you have to keep typing. At the top you can see there's like little flags, so you can see
like
the progress that people are making.
other people.
So sometimes it's like I just gotta go. Sometimes it's like, all right, I'm way ahead, I can just slow down. If you make 3 mistakes, he puts a bullet in,
Russian
spins the chamber,
roulette,
and
dude.
click. The first time he did it, and I lost the 1 out of 6. It was just like game over.
And,
like, oh, what the fuck?
Dude, the first time you like win, and then it just everybody gets executed. Like you're just
sitting there. It's just,
oh my god!
And I heard a guy like, no.
Yeah,
like,
there's VoIP.
There's VoIP where you're all sitting there. So like there was literally just one guy in one game that was VoIPing, and the whole time he's like, shit, oh god! Like it was really, really funny.
What a great game! What a great idea
Final
for a
Sentence
game.
is just such a great. That's some like, remember that podcast I always talk about, Cool Games Inc?
Yeah,
that's like a Cool Games Inc ass game.
Yeah,
just Final Sentence.
What a
I mean, honestly,
idea.
you could have even said like Last Words. Might have been. It's funny because I was like, I couldn't remember what the name was, and I'm like, I think it's like Last Words, and I'm like, that could actually work.
That would work.
Final Sentence is better, for sure. But so there's a demo. I played like 5 games. I won the first one. I got owned the next 4, and I'm like, okay, I think I've had enough.
I watched Northern Lion play a little bit of it, and it was crazy because they start throwing crazy things at you with what you type. So like I watched one, and he was playing, it was all GPS coordinates. Numbers, number, and it was like throwing everybody off. One was like, it was all just paragraphs with no spaces. So if you made any mistake, you just go back to the beginning. Because it was one word. And I was like, oh my God, that seems insane.
Kind of reminds me of, actually, this is another thing I saw Northern Lion play. This is like iconic. You had to have seen this. You ever see him play the password game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say anything about it. If you guys want some top tier content, just Google Northern Lion, the password game.
Yeah.
But bro, speaking of like S tier content, I have to tell you, I have no interest in Dwarf Fortress at all.
Okay.
But I got linked to a video, and I was like, end game PowerWash Sim. So I've been like sick of listening to music. So I had the video on in the corner while I was doing some power washing, and dude, this video, it like opened me up to this whole world that like I'm so happy exists, but like I don't have any desire to like get involved in, but I still like, now I have a new kind of respect and appreciation, because I'm sure you've heard of Dwarf Fortress a bunch. Have you ever seen it? Have you ever?
I watched a little micro documentary about the game and its creator and like how it used to work, because it was all ASCII characters, right?
Yeah, this is what it looked like. Okay, so you probably watched, because after I watched this video that I'm about to talk about, I also then watched the like how it was made, the history of,
I probably watched that video, that second one, yeah.
So the video that I watched, and I'll have to actually search to get the exact name. Okay, yeah. The video is called Boat Murdered Down the Rabbit Hole.
I love a good down the rabbit hole.
So, first of all, when you start Dwarf Fortress, like it's this whole like randomly generated world.
Yeah.
All the names are of the people, the places, it's all randomly generated. So, back in the day on the legendary Something Awful forums,
Oh, yeah.
they were doing what was called then a let's play. This is kind of like almost the origin, I think,
Yeah.
of the term. The cool thing about Dwarf Fortress is like a save file is like this discrete thing that you can like pass around.
Oh, okay.
So the way it worked is that they did like a full role play sort of thing where one person would start a game and they would play until like, I don't know if it's like 1 month of in-game time or whatever. And they would document all the like happenings in the game, and they would be like the king, the ruler of like the fortress, right? And they would make decisions about what to do and whatever. And then after that time was over, they would pass it on, to someone else who would then take over. So it was a giant forum thread.
Whoa.
Where it was like 50 people were playing on the same game. And then one person would take it, start 1 year in game time. Well, I don't know how much of time that is in like the real world, but
they would start where the last person left off and then go for 1 more year, and then they would pass it on.
As if you were born as like the king's son or whatever, right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then people were totally role playing. So there were some people that were like the Mad King, like crazy making, like at one point a guy made like, they found like lava underneath like a lava reservoir or whatever. And he built like a series of tunnels with like a switch that basically, if you like pull the lever, it would unleash like lava to surround the thing. And once it, dude, like I don't know enough about the game to really do it justice. I'll just say like a few little tidbits. It all starts with like with the city or the fortress or whatever is with the randomly generated name was called Boat Murdered. So that's the name of the place where this all takes place. This famous thing, this famous thread. And what's interesting is that like you play the like tagline that's like unofficially I think of this game is like losing is fun.
Okay.
Because what you do is you play until like you basically lose.
Yeah.
And then you start with another, like even if you're not doing a let's play, when you start and you play again, it's like in the world after the fact.
Oh, okay, like the
so
game
there will
remembers.
be like characters. There'll be you might happen upon like the ruins of this old city. There might be like artwork or people that are still alive related to these things. Like it's this kind of living, breathing world, as Todd Howard would say.
Yeah.
But like, dude, when it starts to go crazy because when you look at like the little ASCII characters, if there was a little E, which I don't think there are any here, a little white E, that basically was an elephant. And basically there were like nonstop elephant genociding the dwarves. Like elephants were just going crazy, killing people. And then like people would then do like works of art commemorating shit. And it was basically like after they played for like weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, it was like all the words were statues and paintings of like elephants like killing people in fetal positions, or like an image of a cheese. And that's like, and then it was just everybody would always just be painting. Dude, I can't even describe it. I'm not doing it justice. It's fucking crazy.
Insane.
One of the things they talked about is like how in depth you would think that there's like what's to a game like this, right?
Yes.
One of the things that they had talked about, probably in the video that you saw, was at one point in a few people's games, they were experiencing the cats in the game that are just like pets.
Okay.
Like en masse vomiting and dying. And even the developer didn't understand why. So literally, like, everything you can imagine, every creature and their limbs and like the nerves like are tracked, the state of all of those things. And what had happened, I guess all the dwarves, you know, they love to drink
Yeah.
alcohol, right? And every now and then the beers fall and the like barrels fall and they smash and there's like, you know, mead or whatever on the floor. And if like a cat walks over it, they'll get it on their feet, and they literally have it programmed in that they like lick their paws to clean it. And this was shortly after he had introduced this whole poison thing. So the cats were getting alcohol poisoning and dying because of a bug where it wasn't properly handling a thing.
God.
So all the cats were just like, eventually there's enough of them that they would all start. Dude, it's like, it's one of the most complex games like ever. And it's wild how in-depth the game is. Dude, things start to go off the rails. One of the first, after the elephant genocide, a butterfly flew into like the mechanism of a gate for the fortress and lodged himself in there. So they couldn't close the gate when like a bunch of bandit like fucking orcs or whatever came through. So like 90% of the population got killed because of a fucking butterfly flying. Dude, it's like,
dude,
it's crazy.
Send me that video, please. I love that stuff.
Dude, it's an hour and 12 minutes of just hearing this guy read the forum posts created by the people, and they take screenshots. And dude, at the end, it's like it's beautiful, because at the end, some guy writes like a fucking. It reminded me of like the 300. You know, the guy with the eye patch who was like the narrator. Whole, it's like that. Like, tell them the story of the. Dude, it's just unbelievable. The name of the video is Boat Murdered Down the Rabbit Hole by a guy named Frederick Knudsen, Knudsen. I don't know if it's Knudsen.
Dude, I saw one where the trout got so strong from swimming upstream it started to walk and proceeded to beat the shit out of his dwarf. This game is crazy, bro.
Dude, then the comment section is like a treasure trove of like, imagine failing so monumentally that you get game over music named after you. It's impressive, honestly. So there was the game over music was named after a guy, and there's a character, I think, in World of Warcraft named after one of the characters from this Let's Play.
Really?
That's how like legendary it was.
Oh my God.
As someone who's never played Dwarf Fortress, the dramatic zooms on a screen full of colorful ASCII characters is extremely funny. That the crazy thing is that, like, I'm sure it meant something to someone. I was like, there's a bunch of E's, you know. But what I could tell was, because they constantly were like pulling, after a certain point, they like kept just pulling the lava lever, and all it did was just kill and destroy everything around. But like, they kept accidentally killing, you know, they were like stuck inside of this fortress surrounded by these genocidal elephants. At some point they like pulled the lever, but like the lava basically like never drained anywhere. So then like the moment they did that is when like all of the foreign traders came with all the supplies, and they just all died. And like, it's just a giant clusterfuck.
That's so funny.
Dude. Ending the fight with more dogs than you started it with is wild. I don't remember the context of that. I'm still laughing at the visual of a war dog mid-fight birthing puppies who then immediately join in on the battle.
What the hell?
Oh, and that's the other funny thing. How hilarious, dude. There's so many like meta jokes in this whole thing too. There's like 1,000 artistic depictions of that people made, and they were all not of the cheese. They were all referencing the original artwork of cheese. So they were all like, it would be like a painting of Van Gogh painting Starry Night. So like the original painting of a cheese, which no one understands, and all the paintings are of the thing that shows the depiction of a cheese.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude, it's just watch it.
Oh,
Just
I'm
watch it.
actually so excited. I love content like this, man. Oh my god, that's so clean. That's so mint. I'm so excited.
And I think
I went down the rabbit hole once of like watching like a making of Dwarf Fortress just because I had heard of it and it seems insane. Like the game just seems like it almost like some visual representation of like Dungeons and Dragons where you can do anything because it's all in your imagination. You know what I mean? This
Yep.
isn't a game where you're like limited to like levels or whatever. It's like they really did try to automate, or not automate, but like think of everything and create a world. So it seems pretty crazy.
And so like I've watched so much content. I still don't know like how you play the game.
Yeah.
But it like doesn't even matter. I don't think that like I don't now correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I'm not going to read them because I don't really care. But I think it's fascinating that like I don't think you're controlling any of the characters. You like assign them work, but like if they are tired and they don't feel like it, they just won't. So like you don't have as much control as you want. So like a lot of times what'll happen is you tell a guy to go do a thing. Well, maybe his dog goes out to go find a thing, but like and a fucking goblin kills his dog. That might push him over the edge and make him crack. So then he starts fighting with people, which might make them crack. And then you have like literally everybody, you have a war that might break out. One of the funny things is like there's a type of character that's like a noble.
Okay.
And they like require nicer quarters, better food, they're like pickier people, right? There's like a certain ratio where you can't have, you want, like maybe 5% of the people to be like nobles. At one point, it was like all the people died except for like 5 nobles. So there was like all there were nobles. For whatever reason, they were all staying in like one bedroom. And they were all mad at like how their quarters were not appropriate. And then like a bunch of foreigners come in to like, they're going to like agree to colonize. And like there were 8 of them and they were all nobles. So like, which is like a random event. So it's just like, we already have too many. And it just, dude, it's just pure chaos.
Oh,
it's, oh my God, just watch it, guys. It's fantastic.
That's so sick. I love that. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Oh, and I think the last thing I'll say, had a community member, who reached out to me, and like, dude, 2 years ago, he was like, "Hey, man, I want to like make a knife for you." Like, I don't even remember what the conversation was. All I remember is he came in like 6 days ago and was like, "Yo, I'm the guy from 2 years ago who said he wanted to make a knife for you." And I'm like, "Oh, I completely forgot, bro." So I gotta maybe next time I'll have like a link. I don't know if he's got a company or whatever, because I want to like shout them out, bro. He invented some like new fucking mechanism, technology, whatever, that he took the handle, which was titanium, and it was impregnated with tungsten, and he uses some, bro. It looks,
whoa.
You can't see how badass it looks. It's like gold and blue, and like it's just an absolute piece of art.
That's
dude.
sick.
Laser engraved into the handle. It's just like a beautiful, it's just everything about it is beautiful.
Dope.
Knife giveaway when, fuck you, you ain't getting this, dog. I'm gonna see if I can get a link, because it's just, I need to take pictures or something, because it's incredible.
That's so sick.
It's incredible.
I thought
so yeah, thank you to that guy. How do I buy one? I'll get you a link, dude.
Yeah.
I'll get you a link. Hopefully he's got like a business, and I'd love to shout him out.
I thought you were talking about like a CS:GO knife with all the drama going on in the CS:GO community.
Dude, it's funny how like a month ago a bunch of people were talking about skins, and because I've got a really nice like marble fade bayonet that, you know, like a month ago people were like, have you seen the prices? They're crazy. You know, like mine was worth, I don't know, like fucking $600 or something. And then like a few weeks later, someone's like, did you hear about CSGO skin stuff? And I was like, what? Like last time, it was like 2 weeks ago. Everybody was talking about how fucking
Yep.
sick my knife was and how expensive it is. They're like, oh, it's probably worth nothing now.
Yep.
Because they went and did what you should never fucking do. The thing that, like, if Wizards of the Coast went and did something like this,
Oh.
it would be evil, right? Like if they just went and reprinted Black Lotus, or
Yeah.
like it's like sacrilegious, like.
Yeah.
And I don't even know the details. I haven't looked into it. I don't care because like I don't. My knife wasn't like an investment. Like I
it
just
wasn't
like
an
looking
asset.
around.
Yep.
Yeah. I was like, oh, what am I gonna do about my fucking retirement now? You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, some people.
but they made it so that you could now trade up something for knife skins, which basically meant like, because before you either had to buy them or you had to buy a key in a case that the you know the rarest jackpot roll on the, you know, money wheel was, you know, a knife. Now you can just take red skins. I guess 10 reds is one knife.
You turn like any 10 reds and you're gonna get a knife. You might get a ass knife, but you're gonna get a knife. But the knives were the chase in all the containers. You know what I mean? But it's had the, you know, the like, you know, cause and effect. Like people that just had a bunch of reds because they couldn't afford nicer skins ended up like making a shit ton of money because the value of the reds went way up. And then the people that had the, you know, $400,000, you know, accounts with all the nice knives, you know, they went down. I heard it was like $2 billion wiped off the CSGO skin marketplace. Once again, I don't know how any of that works, but it is so funny. Just seeing.
You can see your inventory, I think, from like Steam.
Yes, I have. I've seen shorts of people showing the before and after. I don't know how you look at that on Steam, but yeah, there is like your estimated value of your inventory.
Yeah. Well, I'm probably not going to be able to pull it up. Oh my God, October 6th, JesseKazam achieved a new beginning.
Yeah.
Played Counter-Strike 2 for the first time. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, on the Patreon.
Yep.
Recently, we had Jesse play
Counter-Strike.
some fucking Counter-Strike. Yeah, we might have to. I don't know if we're gonna do the PP tomorrow morning or not, but maybe we'll do a couple of arc raids.
Dude, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
I got a code for the game, but
oh, nice.
Haven't installed it yet.
Dude, so good. But yeah, that was the CS:GO apocalypse was funny. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it. That's the stuff. What is it? It's November 2nd, so we're 2 weeks away from Tarkov's 1.0. You know, dude, I really don't even know how much I'm gonna play. Like, I will play.
I never thought I would be 37 when the game came out.
Jesus Christ. I'm gonna play it, but I really don't know how much I'm gonna play. Like, I have to just see, you know, even just curiosity. I have to see like what's different, how it feels, but I don't know how much I'm gonna play, man. I'm so into Ark, so yeah, we'll see how she goes.
The last thing I have to show is, because all I was thinking was, people keep asking me, you know, like, when are you going to play Tarkov again? And, you know, my response is closer to 2027 than 2025. Maybe I'll do a subathon when I move into my house in September of next year. Like, maybe I'll do a subathon and maybe, you know, I'll play Tarkov then, but that just reminded me of the house.
Oh,
bro. To see what progress we made. I'll just show us a little snippet. It's fucking wild.
Hell yeah. Mucho excitement.
Bang.
Hell yeah.
We have foundation.
We have a foundation.
Dude, it's crazy. Now it feels real. Before it was just a hole in some dirt.
Yep.
Now there's a foundation, and
Yep.
so it begins.
That's so sick. That's so sick, dude. Congratulations. I know it's been quite the journey to get here, but now it's not just like papers and signatures. It's like, that's my fucking concrete right there. You know what I mean? Like, it's
now it's like, oh, this is the pipe for the septic that's going here, and your electrical's going to come in here. So where do you want your electrical box? I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Fucking things.
That is exciting though. Hell yeah. That's very exciting. Very exciting. Congrats. That's huge.
And I'm just going to be playing games like fucking PowerWash Sim for the next 10 months.
Just waiting.
Just chilling.
Oh, that's so stoked. That's sick, man. Very exciting. But yeah, so thank you guys for hanging. Thanks for hanging with us. As we mentioned, if you want even more podcast content, you go to patreon.com/thepodcastpod. I always end my streams on Thursdays by saying, hey, twitch.tv/Veritas. We're doing the podcast in a couple hours. So that kind of came out. But patreon.com/thepodcastpod. Early ad-free access to these episodes. Not this week, obviously, because we're recording this on Sunday. I have to edit it right now and just post it because I normally post them on Sundays. But yeah. So thank you guys for the patrons over there. Thank you guys for hanging with us, and a little bit of a weird schedule this week, but you guys are the best, and we will definitely see y'all on the next one.
Peace.